we're seeing in the ecosystem now lots of startups which are developing interesting new technologies, interesting business models. We are seeing a proliferation of incubators, accelerators, which are attempting to bring these to market. And we are also seeing corporates with innovation units, corporate venturing units, which get it. They understand that they need to approach things from different ways. What we are doing with the aim of our innovative new value chains is bringing those three elements together to discover the new ways of doing business, the new ways of getting customer insights, and delivering those through effective partnerships. So to give an example of an innovative new value chain, we've been working with a startup which has got some technologies in one-off diabetes testing and are doing it with an interesting patient therapy group. It doesn't really scale up at the moment because the current value chains of the corporates and the organizations just don't align. So pharmaceutical businesses are only interested really at the moment in sick patients who have got diabetes. Clinics are happy that only 25% of the particular patient group come along for testing because their budgets and their processes won't be able to cope with the new way of delivering this solution. The pharmacies are interested in their current business model, which is prescribing tablets in paper bags or selling shampoos. And organisations in the wellness sort of space or in the food space just really aren't addressing the issues around these sort of diabetes areas. So for these changes to be really effective, organisations need to address what we call an innovative new value chain. So that is now delivering new technologies with different partners across the value chain into different corporates, and a new way of being remunerated to a different business model. So this is not just about technologies, it's not just about startups, it's addressing the full value chain and approach that organizations need to do in a collaborative way.
So the Value Chain Innovation Programme that we're proposing is based around the observation that so often corporates are blindsided by startups who completely restructure the value chain they're in, or they just miss the opportunity to exploit some of their existing capabilities by restructuring somebody else's value chain to capture more value. What we see is corporates who've got a lot of capability, and if we can bring them together to discuss how we can restructure value chains, then we can create a lot of value and be much more strategic in the way that corporates approach startups either in their space or by approaching startups who they can work with in other value chains. The first phase of the programme is to work with the corporates who are participating. We will carry out structured interviews, we will gain their own understandings of the value chains that they work in, of where they see the mega trends are that they need to respond to or believe they can exploit. And that will allow us to put together a workshop where the corporates can come together and we can actually target some value chains that we believe together the corporates can play a major part in restructuring and creating extra value. After the workshop, the activity will be very much to agree how we're going to prioritise the value chains that we believe we can work with, and then work with the corporates to help sell that idea internally, to bring together what each corporate is going to contribute to the project and how they will take value out of it, and then move forward into a project implementation and execution phase where we can create effectively a joint venture project to redevelop the value chains that we've targeted. Okay. We see a key part of the execution phase of this program is not to ignore the role of startups, but actually to be more strategic in the way that corporates can approach startups and work with them. So very much there will be a phase of identifying startups who can bring something to the party, creating the right relationships with them, and developing that blend of a corporate's ability to act with a startup's ability to act fast.
where companies are able to understand that ecosystem and not only invest in individual actions, but also what we mean by connecting the dots, which means that they're actually able to put startups to work together. They are actually able to make technologies work together. And in that sense, they are developing a new business model. They are developing what we call new value chains. And that means that they understand that they start developing new ways of doing research and development, new ways of developing products, new ways of interacting and understanding consumer insights, new ways of delivering and marketing their products. So in a holistic way, they understand that there is a new value chain going on.